CounterCast minicast.
Welcome to. Oh, jeez.
Oh,
I sure
wow.
am tired. The only thing that can make me more tired is a ban list that's out of season and out of date because we took.
Good news, Mudfire. There's a new ban list.
Me.
So the ban cards,
Yep.
we got Verte Anaconda.
Good.
Fucking finally. Oh, you know how good it is going to locals and not seeing DPE on every end board?
No, you can't just ban me!
Certified funny moment. Snake ban.
Speaking of certified funny moments, so goes the funny combo plane. Mecha Planet Feast Auroradon.
This is the second time a combo plane has been shot down. You wouldn't even know it wasn't visible.
Well, here's hoping his partner in crime also sees a similar fate.
I'll be honest. There's a small part of me that almost wants Hulk to kick around at 1, which he did get turned to 1. But part of me wants him to kick around just because of the idea that he makes some weird low-level shitty tuners that cannot summon themselves kind of playable, like Yamatako no Orochi.
Oh yeah, the new thing that got in TCG for P.
I don't know. I don't think it was a TCG exclusive.
Okay, it was definitely in the last set.
Yeah, it was, and it's a really interesting. We've talked about it before, I think, right?
Yeah,
Have
yeah,
we?
it's the one that does like level 8 things and.
Yeah, it's a level 1 tuner that can also treat itself as level 8, which is really fucking interesting, especially in decks like Morphtronic, which we'll get to. In that it plus Selfon is like a very easy peasy Power Tool Braver.
And plus it gets like an extra effect, something like gain 1,000 attack or
Just
some shit.
just like piercing, I think, but it's still valid.
Yeah, no, I'll take it. Yeah, I think I'm slowly getting over Hulk eventually, mostly because they brought back Destrudo and Jet Synchron, and hopefully this means we will get back Glow Up Bulb.
Maybe
but I wouldn't bet on it. But
it's hard to say because he's still a free link too.
Yeah, but I like Glow Up Bulb, so.
Yeah, but there's a mill deck going around, so.
Oh yeah, shit! I just realized.
Yeah, we'll get to that though.
The final ban card is Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo, and that is just it's simultaneously the right thing to do and just completely tragic, because this was like the card that made Prank Kids function at a high level, and it slowly just got like eked out of the game.
Yeah, the problem is that in a deck that is already good, having 12 one-card starters is kind of fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of. Go on.
Don't get me wrong, I'll miss it because I used it in Adamanticators for an actually pretty good rock engine, but it is a thing where it's like, goodbye, meow meow.
You hate to see it. We have to put the cat down.
The good news is his ashes gave rise to Jet Synchron! Woo!
Yay!
He's dead. No, actually play the Finally Back in About Time 2 song here. This is the one time it deserves it.
Put it right here. It is about time too. I think Synchro Lich isn't a thing anymore, is it? Because that
not without Auroradon.
Yeah, that's a trade I'm willing to make. Plus, like, it's really nice for actual Synchron decks. You know.
Yeah, dude, this card is
cards.
This card is a fucking linchpin in Synchron because it gives you like recovery. It can do other shit. You can summon, like, it being at 1, not even a problem for the deck because you summon it off of a Rider Kickman.
Oh yeah. Well, it's good to see him back. Him and Destrudo are like 2 of my favorite cards. It's just a shame that like they things turned out the way they did for him.
Yeah, but he's pretty pogars.
Then next on the limited list we got Yagarasu.
This isn't gonna do anything.
Yeah, he's kind of like Cyberstein, where like at 1 he kind of just shows up and could completely win you the game if you've set him up, but it's a lot of setup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he is searchable, but At the same time, requiring not only your normal summon, but like an easy peasy like battle
Direct
phase for him
attack.
to actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really gonna function. So, it is what it is. I'm
Sure,
I will
it'll be
miss-
fine.
I will miss the legacy of the oldest banned card being back. Pot of Greed is going to take over that title eventually. Because guess who's fucking back, baby?
Chang of Hang.
That's not what it's called.
Change of heart.
Yeah. Change of Fart is a fucking... This is a card that's nice to see back at 1.
It's definitely a weird choice, especially since Minecon is already limited, and you could just put that to 2, but then that means you can cross out designate a Minecon, but you can do that anyway, can't you?
Yeah.
I'm pulling at straws. It's just such a weird choice because they essentially do the same thing, minus a few like Minecon being obviously a nerfed version.
Yeah, I am glad to see it back though on some level because it's just a neat. It's neat to see one of the old power cards back, even if just at 1.
Oh yeah, I think they should do more of it. I think the only one they can't do is Pot of Greed.
Painful choice.
Oh, and Painful Choice, and maybe Duo. I think there's
Delinquent. No discards.
okay.
No, none of that shit.
All right, yeah, no, I think I've made a boo boo. I've not thought enough about this.
Yeah, Change of Heart is at least a card you can like negate. Delinquent Duo is just fuck you.
It's certainly a scary prospect.
Yeah.
And then finally we have Time Seal, which is fine, I guess. It's even
Oh,
slower.
I missed 2 actually.
Missed 2 on the limited list.
Monkey.
Oh yeah, the Pendulum Monkey. I thought that was on the last limited list. To be totally honest with you.
No, this is this one. Monkey Board's back, and it's. I'm gonna be honest. I still don't fully understand how Perform Pals function, aside from like draw until you lose.
Lol, Lamau. I think Monkey Board is quite important because I think we've got Skullcrab at 3, which searches Monkey Board. Monkey Board searches one of the new cards, and they go from there. The new it's obviously for the new support, and let's be real, Pepe is without
Underlink
Plush
Rule
Fire.
4 it can't do shit.
Yeah, and Plush Fire is still dead. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah. I genuinely think you could bring off every single Pendulum card except Electromite, and nothing would happen.
I'm fairly confident that you're right.
Yeah. And the last one on the limited list, because Time Seal and Yatagarasu are just like, get the fuck out of here. The last one is Red Rose.
Oh yeah, this is one that's actually been limited from 3, and this one is sad because this is obviously due to based, but it's fine. It's a shame because it is like it's the one good Rose Dragon card. Like Rox Rose is fine, but you need Red Rose to like get things out of the deck. Is it the one that searches? No,
I don't know.
I think it's something from deck, which is why it's
Any hit to a pile deck is a hit I enjoy. I think
Yeah.
pile decks are like the death of fun in this game.
You're right. I'm very inclined to agree.
Anyways, semi-limited.
I've got
Dynamite
first
Knight.
Dynamite Night. Tonight, the night is Dynamite. This is good for Dracos. I know he's the good one because for the longest time it was him and no Ignis-Heat, and then it was
Don't say that.
Ignis-Heat and then no him. I don't know how true Dracos work. I know Masterpiece is banned. That's
Good.
about as far as my knowledge of
Masterpiece probably should stay banned just because
And
it's
Draco, what it called, Diagram should stay limited as well.
yeah. But the one I'm really excited about is motherfucking goddamn Cyber Angel Ben 10 because it started when an alien device did what it did.
Yeah, Ben 10-2, I think now that Eva is gone, is kind of okay. I still don't like it because Drytron is scary. But yeah, no, I might be encouraged to play Drytron, I guess, going forward.
Yeah, I mean, if they reprint Nova, that would be probably fun.
Mm.
I got all my stuff. I just gotta figure out how it works because there's that one dude. What was his name? It was a Mr. Please load. A Mr. Dr. Nicholas Burgess who won actually the UK National Championships with Drytron. So I've been
Yeah.
watching that lately, which is congrats to him. I love fucking Drytron, so it's good to see the deck still kind of kicking.
Yeah, especially at this point in its lifespan and considering what it's about to come up against.
Oh no.
Oh. But
But yeah,
moving swiftly on, we have Tenki to 2, which is fine since I think the last remnants of Zodiac are now dead, and
yeah, and like
Tri Brigade
more-
is kind of hit.
the more degenerate Tri-Brigade stuff is dead. I still have fun playing some more Tri-Brigade Lyrelusk, but that's because I'm a nut job.
Yeah, I mean it's still playable. It's just not meta, I guess.
No, yeah,
I'd
I
say that
like-
more tier 2, tier 3.
I genuinely wouldn't know, but I like my janky little build that I net decked off a dude in the 10E server.
Oh yeah,
It's weirdly fun.
net decking is a-okay, kids. Never forget that.
You're nut deckers. Wall of Revealing Light should not have been limited.
And it
should
shouldn't even
just
be
be
semi-limited. Yeah, they should have just put it to 3 or kept it limited.
Yeah, it's Trickstar Light Stage is at 2, I guess. You mentioned that they don't fear Orcust as much, so maybe that's it.
Yeah, it was limited due to Orcus combo, if I'm not mistaken, because it grabs cards and you do Orcus things. Somehow.
It also might have just been because like I think they still, they won Worlds.
That too. Don't worry about it.
Pot of Desires should be at 3. It should not be at 2. It should be at 3.
Yeah, but now you don't have to draw in that third Desires.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Fuck you.
Okay, unbanned cards. We've got Scapegoat, the Fecal Funny Goats, back to Goatsy the format.
Yeah, it'll probably be annoying in like set 5 pass decks, but that's maybe about it. Salamangreat is almost entirely off except for Gazelle, and I've heard Salamangreat at this point is just like a worse Marincess.
Wow, that's. I don't know. I wasn't
That
expecting
is a
you to say
powerful
that.
statement.
that kind of hurts considering the state things are in. Well, that being said, they've got a Heat Soul, so I guess that's something.
Yeah. Trishula is at 3, which is I'm surprised, but I guess like the combo is too fragile at this point. I
Yeah,
haven't seen
like,
hide nor head of it.
Looping Synchros is not quite the scary thing it used to be. We'll
Yeah.
see though.
Speaking of looping though, Night Assailant.
He can't do it anymore.
Wait, isn't Night Assailant a chick?
I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Night
no,
Assailant is a rabbit.
they kneecap Night Assailant and it doesn't recur anymore. But it's still playable. I think you're still playing like flip pile decks if you really wanted to.
Did you know Night Assailant is a dead Gravekeeper?
Same.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Hero lives back at 3. Which
Yay!
it's kind of an apology for all the hits towards Hero.
I will gladly accept it. This is fantastic. It means that mass change is now much more accessible, despite the fact that sometimes you will just die because of bad foresight.
Well, you can't account for everything.
Yeah, but it is nice to see. Even Hero Support's been a very weird place lately, but then again, one hasn't it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a good ban list. We're a little bit late to the party, but we still got the spirit.
When are we?
We're in before the next one, so that's all that counts.
Yeah. Anyways, Defo TCG, these nuts, that didn't work.
It never works. But yeah, it's here and it's out.
Yeah. The secrets were stretched thin because this is not. Therions are the closest thing to meta in this deck, in this set. So you got Alba Lenatus, Scareclaw Tryhard, Libromancer Fire, which we'll get to that. Therion King and Lily, that piece of shit Illegal Knight, Psychic End Punisher, Beyond the Pendulum. Fuck. Odd Eyes Pendulum Graph, and Visa Starfrost? They always do this shit. These choices seem right and wrong simultaneously.
Wait, Visa Starfrost? I thought he came out
Yeah.
in the last set. Oh no, this is the set with Visa Starfrost. I'm like a set ahead. Yeah, ignore me. That's because he's the promo. So the sneak peek rarity was obviously ultra.
Yeah, and much like Albaz, he will be centered around everything, and everything will be centered around him, and he will accomplish nothing until they give him a structure deck.
He's so important, guys. He's so important. Visa Starfrost, everyone.
Goodbye, Starfrost!
It's just too many syllables.
The Ultras were Dynamorphia Frenzy, Rex Turn Midterm, Scareclaw Field Spell, Felgrand Synchro, Red Eye Zombie, No Punk Deer Note, Libromancer Ritual Fire, Libromancer Normal Trap, Scareclaw Man, Scareclaw Field Spell, Exo Sisters Magnifica, Weather Moonbow, Starving Venom Big Boy, our Gyro System, and the Therion's Field Spell. There were a lot of weirdly high rarity Scareclaws.
Yeah, I feel like they were like, God, we've really got to put something on the rarities. What do you got? Scareclaw.
I got my Predaplants for cheap. I ain't complaining.
Yeah, no, Predaplants came out like weirdly untouched.
I'm insanely happy about that. I love the Predaplant support. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm looking into like getting some myself so I can have a go.
Yeah, no, dude, just try the list I sent you. It's pretty solid. Yeah, Ghost Spells to Starlight, and imports include Curse of Dragon, the Magical Night Dragon. That name is a mouthful.
It's
Odd Eyes Wing Dragon.
Odd Eyes Wing Dragon.
sorry.
Yeah, this has been long. Odd Eyes Wing Dragon has been in waiting for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's Yakuza, Lord of the Eight Thunders, Changshi the Spirit Owl, Chaosai the Ghost Stopper, and Motor Frenzy. That fast? This bitch?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not in Duel Links first, personally. I still don't. I pulled like several of these and I still don't know what it does.
I have to read up on some of these because I totally forgot.
I think it's definitely not good. Yakuza, the Lord of the Eight Thunders, is that V-Jump promo that like rolls on like level 8.
Level 8s. He's not
but
bad.
like extra deck / ritual monsters. Yeah, he's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I think that's all right. I like little.
Shang-Chi's there because of the zombies, I think.
That does not sound like a real name.
Shang-Chi the Spirit Owl? Yeah, I think the OCG naming made a bit more sense.
It's they just put together fake names in words until
the Chinese
Sping Bong de Genghis.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Chang-Chi is just a fucking. Okay, yeah, he's just another.
She? This is she.
Yeah, you can tell by the like. Yeah, she's a mill, so whatever. The deck already has an easily accessible Unizombie. Navy Dragon Mech. Navy Dragon Mech.
Navy Dragon Mech is basically a counterpart to Vermilion Dragon.
Vermilion.
Mech. This time it's blue and it negates.
I kind of wish you just ended it there.
This time, yeah, just cut me off here.
This time it's blue.
But no, he's kind of good. I like him as like not strictly something you'd summon on your turn, but if you could summon it on your opponent's turn, it's pretty good because you can negate multiple cards on the field.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about him.
Then there's Patisserie Kovashor, which is a Pendulum S-Poly target because fuck you. That's all that you have to say about that one. There's nothing good about it.
There's a pendulum effect, but it doesn't come up very often. It like kind of relies on it like dying, which would work if you had like Electromite, but
now the Libromancers. Libromancer Mystic Girl is a level 4 light fairy ritual with a fat 2.1k booty, and if she's summoned using a monster on the field, rituals you control cannot be targeted by the opponent's monster effects. And when special summon, she can target, negate, and 0 an opponent's monster till the end's turn. So yeah, they have summoned on the opponent's turn now. Neat.
Yeah, and you get a free Clausulus effect, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah. Libromancer Realize is a continuous spell that reveals a Libromancer ritual in hand to summon a token with the same level, and it locks you into Libros while the token is up. That's fine. Gets you free materials.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where Libromancer's got a little bit wonky, was just like getting levels on board to summon the right monster.
Yeah. Libromancer Bonded is a ritual spell, standard stuff, but it mentions Firestarter and Fire Burst, meaning it can be pre-prepped.
Yay!
And if you make Firestarter with Fire Burst, it gains Destruction and Banish Protection. Firestarter sucks ass, but the protection is cool.
I agree.
Yeah, I do love this trend of like making things pre-preppable and shit.
Yeah, they kind of remembered that this card exists and is not doing anything right now.
But yeah, Libromancer Prevented is another trap, continuous, and allows you to target and stop a monster your opponent controls from being used as extra material. and it kills itself during the end phase if you have no liberal rituals. It's good disruption, but you'll have to be really smart about how you use it, in a similar vein to how no material works.
Yeah, I think at least unlike no material, it's searchable.
Yeah, and also you can use it like at any time, basically.
Yeah.
And then there's Libromancer Fire, who's level 4 Cyberse, because Cyberse doesn't mean anything. That can reveal Ritual in hand a special, then grab a Libro card. He's just a better searcher than a first wave one.
Yeah, and you play both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come so stumpsy.
Next is Fire Burst, which is a level 7 ritual, so you can pre-prep him. And if you use a monster on field to summon him, he gets battle protection and he deals double damage. And I think he can attack twice, and whenever an attack is declared, you can banish Libromancer from your grave to give him 200 attack.
Vendread.
Vendread Slayer moment.
I like everything except... Sorry?
He's not good, but yeah, like you said.
I like everything except that, like, 200 attack game, because a double attacking, like, double damage dealing monster is pretty fucking funny.
Like, if it was in, like, 500 or 1,000 attack, that would be very funny. But
yeah,
it's just, it's not enough.
Yeah. The last one is Libromancer Displaced, which is a trap, and it can target a Libro you control and an opponent's monster and bounce yours and steal the opponent's, but it returns during the end phase if what you bounced wasn't a ritual. It's not bad, but it's one of those cards that's like very picky about what it wants. Yeah,
I think it's kind of a toss-up between this and the negate, and I think the negate's just a little bit better.
Yeah. Speaking of TCG, we got one reveal for Power of the Elements TCG, which shows us what the new archetype is going to be based around. I'm a little bit excited, but also a little bit disappointed. They had teased for a while the new archetype was going to be, it's around a type that you don't see very often, so it's like, oh, cool, spellcasters. But it's fish.
They're not wrong.
They're not. No, fish has only had one archetype before, and that is Fishborg. Sharks do not count. There is no shark card in the game by name. You cannot search a shark.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. It's okay. It seems like it's an Axel Synchro deck, which is
fish and banishing.
Fish and kicks.
This is gonna get Coelacanth banned.
I hope so.
But yeah, it's Goatee of the Deep Beyond is a level 10 Waterfish Synchro that needs one or more fish tuners and the other stuff. So it's got a variable amount of tuners, which is already interesting. And its original attack is 500 times banished monsters. If Synchro summon on the opponent's turn, field banish, and during the standby phase of the next turn after this card is banished, revive it. It is way too early without context to say how good this is.
Yeah, and we don't know whether the archetype is called Goatee or
Deep Beyond.
Deep Beyond. So, hey.
I'd assume Deep Beyond, but yeah.
You never know. It could, because this isn't the Goatee thing like literally a fresh meme or some shit. Like people,
yeah, it's
people
some
are trying
stupid
to clown
thing.
on people are trying to clown on the English language. Like that's how it works.
Yeah, this is what happens when you hand over like a rule book of language to a redditor.
Yeah, I think this is why I think the whole Goatee thing is going to be the name of the archetype, because people are like, oh, it's fish, but it's not.
Yeah.
More like Goatsy of the Deep Abyss. Don't search that.
That's what the banishing is! Oh no!
Yeah!
Goodbye, Grandma Jew. Goodbye.
I can't believe they turned Grandma Jew into a fish.
I'm a fish! I'm Grandma Jew fish!
Funniest shit I've ever seen. Next up we have what we came to talk about.
Oh yeah, we have some, speaking of water and fish, we got some quick duels from the Abyss rarities. Ultra rares are Abyss Shark, 7th Ascension, Mega Fortress Whale, Ocean Dragon Lord Kyriushin, Fish Sonar, Marincis Coral Triangle, Marincis Aqua Argonaut, Marincis Dive, and Forbidden Droplet. I have no faith in this set.
Giant Hand's also here for some reason in the water set.
Oh, it's because like half of the fucking shark set decided to shove its head up its ass and make it like over 100 support.
Barian support.
Yeah, Bahamut Shark is a rare reprint, and Frostosaurus is in here, so, you know.
The Bahamut Shark reprint is kind of fine, because if given the way things are going...
he was getting up there.
Not even that. They made its main target might not be so... might not be doing so hot.
That's not very totally awesome of you, Reggie.
I don't give a shit. Fuck,
Yeah,
fuck that guy.
I'm gonna bitch for a hot second here, because like it's been like a week since the set's release, and fish sonar is still $12. Who is buying fish sonar?
I have no idea. This is such a weird thing because it doesn't do anything, right? It searches Umi monsters and summons like a level 4 normal monster, like level 7 or lower normal monster from the deck if it's water.
Yeah, it's even the best card from the new support, Ocean Dragon Lord, is only like $1.80. And like Abyss Shark, I think, is one of the more expensive things in terms of archetypes, and he's only $5, which fine. But why is Fish Sonar 12? That's stupid.
I would assume like Water XEs uses both of these effects to some extent.
No, I have not seen them do it, honestly. Like, maybe there's a variant, but I'm not aware of it if there is
Or
one.
maybe, just maybe, the secondary market is so desperate to make some money they've just had to make something
No,
up.
that's silly. They don't want money.
No,
They're out of the good of their hearts.
You're right, that's crazy.
That'd be crazy. But anyways, Reggie, what's your favorite word that starts with B?
Bingus.
Should have been bi. Do I know what my second word that starts with B is?
I sure hope not Albaz.
That doesn't start with a B, Reggie.
No, you said what starts with B and you said bye.
Black Wings!
No!
Welcome to the Funny Feather set. The set that's literally called, like, Black Winged Fart Fuck. And people were wondering, I wonder what could be in this set. And the next set is called something like fucking Galaxy Storm, so, I wonder what could be in this set.
I sure hope it's ciphers.
I will kill someone.
Oh, please. So, step aside, Albaz. The real bye guys are here.
Step aside, pussy fart. Starting off, Black Winged Assault Dragon is a level 10 synchro that needs a synchro tuner or one or more non-tuners. Oh, also you can just synchro summon it by banishing a synchro tuner and Black Winged Dragon from field to graveyard, so Lamau. Each time an opponent's monster effect activates, place a black feather counter on this guy and burn the opponent for 700. During the opponent's turn, you can tribute him if he has 4 or more counters and destroy all cards on the field. This is good and is really put up there by the summoning condition.
Yeah, I was about to ask because I'm like gonna completely like sideline myself for this because I know nothing about Black Wings. But do you play Black Winged Dragon in Black Wings?
Now you do.
It's kind of necessary now then.
Yeah, but there's a reason because there's another card in this support that makes him actually really good.
Okay,
And
I see.
that's something I never thought I'd say, but that's the miracle of this support, and we'll get to that.
When you say it makes Black Wind Dragon good, you mean it makes it
Not good, but you use him.
just workable to use.
Yeah, and I appreciate that to some extent, but like I said, I'll get to that.
Yeah, well, this just reminds me of like Wolf Rat in terms of like effects. It's like a side grade.
Yeah, but I mean, the real sell on him is that not only is his effect pretty decent, but his summoning condition is so fucking good.
Yeah, I must agree.
Yeah. The next card is Boreas the Eerie Wind, who is a level 6 Synchro Tuner and needs a Dark Tuner. If Synchro Summoned, he mills a Black Wind and copies its level. And when it destroys a monster by battle, you can banish a Black Wind from field to graveyard to Goyo Guardian it. The second effect is stupid and no one cares, but the first effect and the Tuner thing are more than enough reasons to play it.
Great.
Yeah, I might take the wheel here if that's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like I said, I'm not kidding when I say I know absolutely nothing about Black Wings, aside from like a small engine that you'd play in like the Raid Raptor mashup.
So, here's the main reason why you will be playing Blackwing Dragon now. Vata the Heal is a level 2 tuner with 800 attack. Attack is important for Blackwings, that's why I'm mentioning it. And you can hard once per turn special summon if you have a non-Vata Blackwing. During the main phase, you can send both him and any number of non-tuner Blackwings from deck to graveyard whose combined levels equal 8, and if you do, summon Blackwing Dragon from extra deck, but you're dark locked. This is interesting on account of not only being an easy summon from hand, but also having a pretty massive mill effect, as well as getting you to a body. You can make this, make Boreas, mill level 2 with Boreas, make Vata and into Blackwing Dragon, and boom, new lad.
Bada bing, bada boom.
he's really good because he sets up your graveyard. He gets Blackwing Dragon out for some of the other new support, and yeah. Next up is Shamal the Sandstorm, who's a level 4 tuner with 1600 attack, which is a little bit awkward, but you can get to him easily, and I'll get to that. And you can send him from hand or field to graveyard to place a Black Feather Whirlwind from deck in back row. If a Blackwing Synchro or Blackwing Dragon is special summoned to your field and he's in your graveyard, you can banish him, then recur a dead Blackwing, but you take 700 damage. He's pretty fucking good.
Sounds like an extender that just works.
Yeah, he's a level 4 tuner, so that already has some nice upsides to it. And his recurring is pretty good on top of everything else, and thing he sets is also very good. But there's more. There's more, and this support is genuinely insane. Chinook the Snowfall sounds like a slur, and it's a level 2 with 100 attack. You can send it from hand or field to graveyard, target a monster your opponent controls, mill Blackwing Dragon from extra deck to graveyard, and negates effect, and it loses 700 attack. Oh, also it's a quick effect if you control a Dark Synchro. This is fucking amazing. It's pretty much always searchable thanks to his attack. It's always live as a negate and hard to remove, plus immune to Dark Ruler No More. Genuinely pretty good. It's, from what I understand, it's not always the thing you want to be searching in your combos, but it's really good to run at like 1 at least. And the next one, and this is the big boy, this is the big man, this is the big guy, Suzuri the Apparition, who's a level 4 with 1400 attack, and when normal summoned, he searches any card that mentions Blackwing Dragon except itself. So their monster negate, hand trap, counter trap is now fucking searchable, although surprisingly, you may still not want to run it just because you do have a lot of things you want to search, so you might not always be able to get to it. You contribute a monster you control to Synchro Lock, and then summon a level 2 tuner token, and then take 700 damage. This is a fucking fantastic card. He combos off a Sly Moon thanks to his low attack, searches some insane shit. He's good. I love him. Next up is Zonda the Cruel Knight, who's level 6 with 2,300 and locks you to Synchros while face up, and on summon can target bounce a monster. You can banish it from graveyard to special summon a level 5 or higher Blackwing from hand or deck. This is generally what you want to be milling off of Vada. He's just a hard once per turn malicious. Run 1 to mill shit. And now the continuous spell that you can set with a Shamal, Black Feather Whirlwind, which is a continuous spell that if a Dark Synchro monster is summoned for your extra deck, you can revive a Blackwing or Blackwing Dragon in graveyard or banished with a lower attack. Also, you can once per turn remove a counter, one of the Black Feather counters if a Dark you control would die. Both effects are soft once per turn, meaning that Zephyros is here to help you and give you a little kiss.
That's all I've got.
That was good timing. But yeah, the last 2 cards are both traps, and there's Blackwing Twin Shadow, which is a normal trap card and can be activated from hand if you control 2 or more Blackwings. Shuffle 2 Blackwings, a tuner or non-tuner, in graveyard or that are banished into the deck, and summon a Blackwing or Blackwing Dragon from extra deck. This is insanely good. For trap, this is insanely good. It lets you play through Dark Ruler No More or other Deadly Disruption. It can just be used for normal play extension if you want to. It's very flexible. You run 1 because it's still pretty searchable. I'll get to my very few problems with this support. But the last card is Black Noble, which is a counter trap that can remove a Black Feather counter to negate a back row, and if you control Blackwing Dragon, it's in the graveyard. You can set it to your field, but banish it when it leaves. It's good, but needing the counters is kind of uncomfortable. Having 3 in-theme negates is pretty nutty, and they can get to 2 at least pretty consistently, but this one you may not always be able to have live, especially if you wanted to use it to counter stuff like Dark Ruler No More, because then the Feather counters would just, vanish. But the one problem I have with all the support, because every single one of these cards I think is good, at least on paper. The one problem is I think there's a bit too much in terms of what you can reasonably be expected to have in your opening hand, so you have to do a lot of searching, but all of them kind of want to be searched, so it does put you in a weird spot where it's like you need to make some weird decisions in terms of both
This is where I
deck
can actually
building
chime in, because Black Wings strikes me as that kind of deck where it's especially now with this new support, it suffers from a lot of it sounds like it suffers from a problem that a lot of decks wish they suffered from, and that's just too much choice.
I have too many good cards, help me!
Oh, Konami, stop!
It cuts to Arcana Force in the Mojave Desert dead.
Good.
But yeah, that's the big boys of the set, Blackwings. But now the other big boys, tier elements.
Yeah, so we kind of knew these were going to be good. If you'd listened to us last podcast, there's a plug.
I didn't.
Oh, well, I did. I had to edit it.
No, I didn't. Oh, yeah.
But But yeah, it looks like they've escaped Visas' cheapification for now. But he's coming.
Yeah, he's got to get him. Like, who knows what will happen to, like, Big Boy, but there's... Their first new card is Lulu Karos, who is a level 8 water aqua fusion that needs Cheeto Karos and a Cheeto. Yeah, it needs Cheetos and a tier. It gives other aquas battle protection, could negate a card or effect that special summons by sending a tier from hand or field to graveyard, and it can recur itself if sent to graveyard by card effect. Wow, this is crazy. Surely they wouldn't get more crazy stuff.
They didn't need two
Right?
boss monsters. That's all I'm saying. especially not when they both revive themselves from the graveyard for free. But on the upside, unlike Collider Heart, this one kind of stays dead after it dies the second time.
Yeah. The other cards are, one of them is Tear Element's Grief, which is a normal spell that summons a Tear or Visas from graveyard or fucking deck, and then sends a monster you control with the same type or attribute to the graveyard. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by card effect, it recurs a banished Tear trap. This is nutty. It can't start plays on its own, but it's deadly with others, and the mill effect is neat, and it's what Lightsworns wish their back row did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've not done much play testing for Terra Elements, but I've been hearing good things about their performance, and anything that triggers what they do even more is just it's a bonus.
They're basically the next Tier 0.
Damn, that was quick.
Yeah. It's Power of the Elements is going to be insane, and if the fish deck is insane, ooh. Tear Element's Heartbeats is a quick play that targets a back row on the field and shuffles it into the deck, then sends a card from your hand to the graveyard. And if you control Visas, you can target 2 instead. If milled, it recurs a Tear Trap. I mean, this is neat, but it's not generically good for them, I guess.
I do have a question though. Why do they need all this recursion? I think for a deck this strong, surely the main caveat is, oops, I deck out.
Well, Reggie, you see, balancing in card games is a difficult thing. You see, sometimes we have to make Arcana Force, and sometimes we have to make Dragon Rulers, because...
I know.
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions you're not prepared to hear answers to. And the final one is Scream, and I think it just mills 3 if a monster is summoned while you control Tier Elements or Visas, and all your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack, and then blah blah blah, trap recursion.
Yeah, it's a continuous spell.
And I wonder how many cards you'll be milling with this effect.
Wow, I sure hope it's not 3.
And where all my milling cards are really strong and give me back cards to my hand.
Man.
This is just Flanders.
That's... Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure we're going to grow to hate this deck. It's really good, and
Oh yeah.
rev up those D barriers.
You
Yeah,
D-bags.
D barrier is here to stay.
Anyways, oh shit, we just got the fuckers invading tier animents. Kshatri La. Starting with Kshatri La Fenrir. These guys are all level 7. Fenrir is an Earth Psychic, has 2400 stats, and shares most of his effects with the other members. He can special summon himself if you have no monsters. During the main phase, he can search their monsters, and if he declares an attack or the opponent uses a monster effect, you can target face down, banish a face-up card the opponent has.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing they got going there.
Yeah, it's Unicorn is the same. I think is
Such as spells, and then Ogre such as a trap.
yeah, and they've each got different banish things too. Because Unicorn is wind and banishes an extra deck monster. Ogre is water and reveals the top 5 of your opponent's deck and banishes 1. These guys are interesting. I don't even know if you can use them as an engine reliably. There's something about them that doesn't quite stack up.
Yeah, this smacks of like, yeah, we'll finish it next set.
And then they never do.
Or either that, or they just Vendreads.
Try and mid it.
But they do have a boss monster in the form of Shangri-La. This big boy, this absolute fat unit, has.
This guy could fucking vor like number 9.
That's hot.
Don't say that.
And during the standby phase, you can summon a Kshatri-La from your deck, and that will trigger their searches. And each time this card will be destroyed, you can detach a material from it. And I think, oh yeah, also when a card is banished face down, you can just pick any zone on the field and block it.
Yeah, this is really neat, and I'll say this much: I, at the very least, appreciate this deck's theme being centered around invasion. You've got this massive planet that slowly but surely summons more waves of reinforcements and takes your opponent's resources, like they're invading and like converting shit to their own. It's really interesting in terms of theming.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's kind of nailed that, which is really nice.
Yeah.
There's just one problem.
They suck.
How do you attack with this big boss monster?
I think it wants you to use the other guys to attack.
I guess.
Because their effects go off when they attack, so...
You're just going to resort to playing Ghost Rick Skeleton. He's back, baby!
Play Megalovania!
And then the two, the spell and the trap, there's one of each, so the search of Ogre and Unicorn are a little bit limited. The first is Birth, and you can normal summon any level 7 monster without tributing. And you can summon a non-Xyz Catrila from your banished or graveyard. And then if your opponent activates a spell where you control one of them, you can banish 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard face down.
Yeah, this is good, but this is definitely the training wheels of the deck.
Yeah, it's very Hazy Flame Pillar, isn't it? Which is kind of my final thoughts on the deck, for that matter.
Oh god, that is a painfully accurate statement.
Yeah, it's like Hazy Flames, but the boss monster is like defensive instead of offensive. Battle Trees is good, just not good for...
You lost faith in that sentence the moment it spilled out of your mouth.
Yeah, I tried. sorry, Hazy Flame Basilitrice. Rank 7 is better. And then, sorry, prepare.
Rank 7's kind of weak nowadays, actually. It used to be really powerful with D-rulers, but... yeah, their last trap is Kshatriya Prepare, which is a continuous trap that can revive a banished or dead Kshatriya. If the opponent activates a trap and you have a Kshatriya monster, you can hand rip face down banish. This one is busted in theory, but weak in practice.
Yeah, on the fact that it's a continuous trap.
Yeah, this deck feels more like an engine than a deck, and it's not a really strong one aside from, like, you get one free banish and more backup with Fenrir, I guess, but I don't know who would really want to use these over other engines.
You mentioned Dragon Rulers, and you technically could play Dragon Rulers. Don't they trigger off being banished?
Well, you say that, but
they're all
that's
the
stupid. I'm going to normal summon Redox, Reggie. Don't be an idiot.
Do it.
Discard this, bitch.
But they do have interesting synergies. This kind of triggered a bit of a buyout of Diablosis.
Oh yeah, Funny Blosis.
Yeah.
He kind of looks like them too.
It's a bit spooky.
But yeah, there's 2 cards for Scareclaws, which is Decline Scareclaw, which is a normal spell that bounces their field spell from field to graveyard, then can Book of Moon if you have Visas. And if 3 or more Defendos are on the field, you can banish it to recur a Scareclaw. This exists.
Yeah, supporting Scareclaws is always weird because they kind of do what they need to do already, especially with like the power of the elements.
Why couldn't this be a quick play?
Shut up. Stop asking questions.
Kshatriya Prepare is a continuous trap that can revive a Scareclaw Twin Saw. That's a cool name. Tributes a Scareclaw to pop 2 cards or banish them if you have Visas. If a Link 3 or higher is on the field, you can banish it to shut down Link effects.
Yo, that's kind of pretty cute. So is this a trap?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's what is it like? Is it the Sword Saw one that tributes to pop 2?
Essentially, yeah. It doesn't Sword Sword doesn't tribute. It destroys.
Okay,
so you can use like protective cards to stop it. But yeah, the Scareclaw stuff is a little bit mixed, but that's Scareclaw, baby.
Yeah.
Anyways, for a deck that I didn't think would be getting support in a million years, Naturia's.
Yeah, no, like, and they've come with a game plan.
Yeah, these are good. They tie the deck together. Naturia Mole Cricket is a level 1 Earth Insect with 0 stats, and as a quickie during the main phase, it can tribute itself to summon a Naturia, but if the opponent has a monster with higher attack, you get to summon 2. If your opponent special summons a monster from the X deck or you summon Naturia from the X deck, you can revive him.
Damn,
This is
he's-
pretty good.
He's good. He's really good. What the fuck?
This is a stupid idea, but if you have a way to put a token on the opponent's field, it can easy peasy make Naturia Beast. It recurs itself for more extension and or another summon on the opponent's turn. It's pretty good. Actually, can it make Naturia Beast? I haven't.
Yeah, it's
Who has-
it's any two Naturia monsters. So you can summon tuners 3 and 2.
Yeah, just gotta check and see if there's like.
Because as long as the
Oh,
materials
yeah.
are Earth, you can make Naturia Beast.
Yeah, because you'd need. What are their tuners levels?
Mostly 3s and 2s.
Okay. Yeah, that's more than doable, I think. Then.
But there
It
is
helps
there
if
is
they
there
have
is
a-
one monster you will definitely be summoning with this, and that's the next one.
Oh hell yeah, hell
So this
yeah.
is Camellia, and on summon,
Yeah.
it sends a Naturia card from deck to graveyard,
Including Sacred Tree.
and then you can sub any Naturia tribute cost by milling 2 cards, and then if you're
Once per turn, though.
once per turn, and then if your opponent summons a monster, you can summon a Naturia monster from your graveyard.
Yeah, this is the only thing that does anything from your mills, but it mills more itself, and it can grab any number of disruptions from the graveyard and give you a free disruption if set up via Mole Cricket.
Good job.
Nice.
Nice.
Naturia Spring Breeze is a quick play that can do one of 3 things. Special Naturia from hand or graveyard, Synchro Summon using at least 1 Naturia, or Fusion Summon using at least 1 Naturia. This is flexible, good, and isn't hard once per turn.
You're only going to be using like the first 2 effects. I don't ever like see you fusion summoning.
But you should.
You can fusion summon any monster as long as you use Naturias.
Right, but you should be making Exteria.
Yeah, of course, but you could.
Make Gaiastrio instead.
Yay!
You can't target my field. Wait, my hand is empty.
But no, like the quick play is nice. Synchro is nice for like dodging effects if you really need to. But I think mostly you'll be special summoning from hand or graveyard.
The quick play synchro is nice just on the fact that if you have 2 things you can summon off Mole Cricket during the opponent's turn, you can make a quick Nat Beast.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
But now, speaking of Earth monsters,
Earth.
Vernalizers.
Yeah, once again, this is game plan the set. Because Vernalizers now have a boss monster. Her name's Vera, and if you control 5 Earth monsters, you can negate a monster effect. Also, she steals opponent's monster, and it becomes Earth. And if you revive and you can revive Earth monsters from your graveyard.
Yeah. The interesting thing about this, though, is her negate is a continuous effect and not an activated one.
Oh, so like that Hamon spell from Sacred Beast deck.
Yeah.
So you can.
And
Yeah.
here's the other thing. If in the middle of a chain the opponent activates something nasty like, let's say Machina Citadel, you can revive an Earth to respond, and then because you'd have 5 Earths on your field at that time, you can continuous negate that fucking Machina Citadel.
Nice. Yeah, and the interesting thing about this effect as well is that it's a soft once per turn on the negate. So as long as you can keep her in circulation, you could do it like more than once.
Yeah,
But
it's
really good.
she's a cool boss monster. And they got 2 other new cards, which is Vernalizer Fairy of Seedlings and Haze, level Earth 3 Earth Fairy that you can discard as such Urchin Earth Fairy. Usual conditions apply. Everyone except VFs lose 600 attack.
It's fucking duck.
Oh, I sure hope there isn't the Earth Fairy deck that's...
We'll get to that. The attack reduction is the quote unquote balancing, if you can call it that.
Yeah, I'm not. Flower Bloom of the Vernalizer Fairies is their field that gives a 1k boost while you have 5 or more Earths. You can banish a Vernalizer Fairy and Flower Buds from hand or graveyard to summon Vera from deck, and if a Vernalizer Fairy is summoned from the graveyard, you can bounce a monster on field or in graveyard.
I'm gonna go out on a
This
limb
is-
and say Konami is listening to this podcast because I told you that that track would become important. You can go back. You can go back and listen.
Computer, play Black 3 out. No, don't do that.
Okay, just I'm right, and I predict Yu-Gi-Oh. Konami call me.
This time.
But yeah, no, this is good. 3 cards. They've got a game plan and even more consistency. I didn't think they'd get this.
Yeah, I'm happy that they're not an engine alone anymore.
Five Earths on Graveyard is a tall order, but I think it's possible.
Yeah. Draco Pals are back.
Draco Pals are back. This is interesting because we were just talking shit about Draco, but this is not the same Draco because
This is the new Draco.
yeah, these are the pendulum ones, so they don't quite have the same game plan.
Yeah. You've got Ignis Phoenix, the Draco Slayer, who is treated as an Ignite. He's a Fire Warrior and has a pen scale of 7 and is level 4. His Pendulum effect allows you to shuffle a face-up Pendulum monster from the extra deck into the deck and search a non-pen Draco Slayer or Ignite. If it's destroyed on the field by a battle or card effect, you can special a Draco Slayer or Ignite from deck, and it becomes a tuner. This is amazing for Ignites. Keeps him from minusing, gives him a fucking tuner in Ignites. His Pendulum effect sucks dick in Ignites because you never want to actually have their bosses in your hand because you can just summon them from deck using one of the other Ignite cards, but the rest is great, and it's good in Draco Slayers as well.
Yeah, no, it's surprisingly not bad. But yeah, they all seem to have effects that like revolve around both the core archetype and the secondary archetype, which is nice. It's nice to see a little nod towards the other ones that are based around the lore.
Yeah, the other ones I think are a little bit weird in terms of how they support the other stuff, but they're good Pendulum cards.
I only agree on the hands of Majesty Pegasus. So in scale, if you have a Magispectre or Draco Slayer in your scale, you can add a Draco Slayer with a different name from deck to hand. And if in the monster effect, you can pitch it to just have Miscellaneous Source effect. And if
don't forget that after she searches, she then pops the other card in your pen zone.
Oh, I did not notice that. And then
so that's pretty nutty.
Yeah, which means you can trigger your Ignis Phoenix. And then on the other monster effect is if she's pen summoned or summoned off a Draco Slayer effect, you can search a field spell and then discard a card. Any field spell, by the way.
Yeah, it's I've tried experimenting with her in pen mags and didn't have much success just because of pen mags are in a very weird place and they kind of they can't afford to go too big right now, I think. But she's interesting because she can search shit like a Secret Village of the Spellcasters. Oh yeah, that's big for Pendulum Magician. Yeah, her discard to protect is only good in Draco Slayers because Magispectors already have protection built in.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Not bad.
And their last monster is Dynamite Power Load, which means that Dynamite the Fighter, Dynamite
the Mist of Dynamite.
He's a level 4 Water Machine, scale 6, and is always treated as a Dynamist. You can, as a Pendulum, target a Draco Slayer or Dynamist in your other scale and special it. And as a monster, if it's tributed, you can add a face-up Draco Slayer or Dynamist from extra deck to hand. He seems okay, I guess. The tribute thing. Yeah, as far as Dynamists go, it's pretty weak. But I think it's kind of decent, like summoning from the Pendulum Zone, because that triggers Majesty Pegasus. Yeah, and it's also, I guess, can theoretically help you get more bodies on the field, but it's not the best. But that's just nice to see another Dynamist card. Yeah, I wish I get more. Their last card is Dragonic Pendulum, which is their field spell, and boosts all Draco Slayers by 300 stats. And if a Dragon Draco Slayer you control activates its effect, you can target and pop a card. And if this card is destroyed, you can add or special summon a Draco Slayer or Drake Overlord from deck. Pretty good. Did you say if a Dragon Draco Slayer? I'm pretty sure, yeah. Oh, so that means like all these new monsters can't activate that effect. Well, you have the old ones at least. Yeah, you've got Luster Pendulum. Luster Pendulum. I guess. What's the other? You can play Masterpiece. Not that Masterpiece. Master. Yeah, the bad. Well, to be fair, the bad one is actually good in Draco Slayers now, I think. Oh, good. That's good for him. His effect isn't bad too. It's just he's always had an asinine summoning condition. Yeah, and it rolls on the Drake Overlords. I think one of these cards in News 4 also mentions Drake Overlords, but yeah, Drake Overlords have always been fucking piss, except for like Amor Factor Pain. Oh yeah, but you need to like. I suppose that's probably why Majesty Maiden searches a field spell, because you can search the Amorphous Persona. Yeah. Amorphous Persona is kind of an interesting. It's a bit funky. Actually, think about Amorphous Persona. You could.
Amogus Persona.
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to think of like. You could maybe do some stuff with Drake Overlords.
You're gonna need to play Drake Overlords anyway because Draco Face Off.
Yeah, but the problem with that card is that it's at 1, meaning that's a 1-to-1 brick ratio.
That's true, but what you got to realize is there's obviously a trend here with all these new cards being released that we are starting to get these limited cards off the list. So it might come to 2. And also the Drake Overlord scales are concurrent with what already exists, so it's not a massive deal if you draw it.
I feel like Draco Face Off could come back to 3 if we have E-Telly at 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it requires a brick, unlike
E-Telly.
Yeah. And yeah, because Lecter Pendulum and Vector Pendulum both suck ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dragonic Pendulum could actually search Drake Overlord.
Yeah, that's
like
I think that's what I was going at with one of these cards mentioning Drake Overlords. But you don't really want to search them, except maybe Amor Factor Pain.
Yeah, Draco Slayers are interesting, and I'm glad they're kind of getting more now. They're a neat little deck.
Yeah, and that means going forward we might also get more more of this lore related support, so maybe like Cristrons, Zodiac.
I hope the Zodiac support is just
Ignite,
flagrant garbage.
Ignites, is it Metal Foes and
Metal Foes already got theirs.
Okay, and Dynamist.
Yeah, Magispectors too.
Oh,
and Amorphages.
And True Kings.
And Amorphages.
And Amorphage. Yeah, I reckon they'll get that next set along with Drake Overlords.
Maybe. I have no fucking clue. But
that's the whole set so far, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all we have for Darkwing Blast so far, unless like tonight they reveal like 20 million more cards and then egg is on my face and ass cheeks. But Animation Chronicle 2022.
Oh yeah, it's time for more anime cards.
Crystal Skull.
Where was this card used? It was I have it in my notes that it was used in that duel with Yusei versus the prison dude from Black History Month.
I think that's just his name now. Is that what we're calling him?
I don't know his name.
My name is Prison, you lord.
You poisoned that character for me. But is it from that?
Yes, famous prison man.
Yeah, is that the duel it's from?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I could be wrong because I never watched 5Ds, but fucking this card sucks ass. I'm not even reading it.
I'll read it. If it's someone you take 1,000 damage and it changes to defense, and if you took no damage during that end phase, you can summon a monster with 0 attack from the deck, or you can add it to your hand.
That is the least impressive thing I've heard in my life.
It summons Labyrinth Wall.
Suck my dick.
Fuck you. There is a card that sort of quote-unquote remedies this, and that's Curse Reflection Doll. It's a quick play spell that lets you inflict damage if you were to your opponent if you were going to take it yourself. So obviously, if you were to take damage from the skull, if you flip this, your opponent takes the damage. And if you take battle damage, it sets itself from the graveyard. It's really poopy. It's not good.
Yeah, this sucks. Stonehenge is an equip that revives a 0 attack monster from the graveyard. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. And it's hard once per turn, so it's kind of balanced.
Yeah,
I would also like to say, just going back to Curse Reflection Doll quickly, I think this is Chainburn support.
Don't say that.
Just thought I'd let that one simmer. And I believe that is 5Ds out the way. Thanks, Konami.
Dream Shark is level 5 because Konami hates me and can summon itself if you have all waters or control no monsters. It has battle protection once per turn. If you take effect damage while it's in your graveyard, you can special it, negate the damage, lose 1,000 defense, and banish it when it leaves the field. It's fine, but sharks don't need it, and it being a level 5 fucking kills it.
Yeah, this is kind of like the roll the dice moment whenever anything shark related comes up.
God, it's... I don't know why they do this to me.
You specifically.
Yeah. Heroic Call is a generic spell that can special summon any warrior from hand or graveyard, but negate its effect, and it cannot attack if it's not a heroic. If you have 500 life points or less, you can banish it, target a monster you control, and give it 500 attack for each heroic you control, and that is attached to your Xyz monsters. Yeah, this is good.
Yes, as far as heroic goes, it does everything it needs to do. Yeah, cool.
Heroic is a deck that tries to steal Dynamorphia's game plan, but does it worse.
Yeah, I'm so tempted to build heroics because obviously they're in the OTS pack, so they're all going to be super cheap.
No, Reggie, don't be a hero.
and hero. No, it's fine. Like my only reasoning is because when we spoke about heroic gift versus Dynamorphia, but that'll never come up. I just someone play Dynamorphia.
Yeah, it would be funny though. Oily Cicada is a level 3 wind insect, so you know what that means, digital gamers.
Yay!
And once summoned, you can reduce all bugs you control by 1 level, and if its position is changed, you can summon another Oily Cicada. This is just another digital bug card.
Essentially, so for a bit of reference, the anime card version is completely different. So the anime version, you summon it, and if its battle position is changed, you can treat it as 2 materials for an Xyz summon. This is kind of just a straight upgrade, getting 2 monsters, but it comes at the cost of like being negated, and the level reduction is completely new to the card, and is related to a different card in this set.
That's still pretty neat. Dream Cicada, his brother, is the same but better. You summon him from hand if you have an attack position bug, and on summon can change the battle position of a monster. Good bug, best bug, good bug.
Very good bug, excellent bug.
Well, welcome to Bee Troopers.
Yeah, he's good for Bee Troopers. He's good for digital bugs. He's good for crawlers. Any bug deck you can think of, put him in.
I can think of. You know, I was talking with someone about how many actual like bug decks there were, and I came up with a blank aside from Insectors and Bee Troopers.
Insectors, Bee Troopers, digital bugs,
Battle Wasp.
crawlers, Battle Wasp.
Man, Insect has not had a good run.
Giant Ballpark.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a fair like assortment of decks, but it's
very hard split between very, very good and very, very bad.
That's good.
That's bad.
And then the only reason Oily Cicada got this level reduction is to support number 2, fake number, not real number, Shadow Mosquito. He's a ninja card, he can't die by battle, and you take no damage from battles. You can detach a material to put a hallucination counter on any monster your opponent controls, and when a monster with a hallucination counter is on the field, its effects are negated. You can also detach a card to inflict damage equal to the attack of a monster with a counter on it. So let's be real, you're not going to be using this second effect, but the first effect is a non-targeting negate.
I'm not going to be using this card at all.
Oh no, absolutely not. It is a generic rank 2, so I don't see why it can't be played in decks that can play level 2s. But it's at the same time it's not a quick effect, and it's not even a proactive effect in any way. So the odds are kind of stacked against you.
Yeah, just play Sky Cavalry Centuria or whatever.
Yeah.
This means that the last fake number to be released is number 1 and maybe like number 10 Dark Illuminite.
They're not going to release Dark Illuminite. It's essentially the same as normal Illuminite, isn't it?
Do it, it'll be funny.
Fine. And then it also comes with the related spell Ninjutsu Art of Mosquito Marching, which is a ninjutsu art for some reason, which I may speculate on in a moment. And you can special summon up to 2 level 4 or lower insect monsters with the same level from your hand. If you control number 2, you can banish this card and put hallucination counters on monsters your opponent controls up to the number of insects you control. It's interesting. I can't like put my finger on whether or not you'd play it. I like to play one in digital bugs because it's very monster heavy. So there's a good chance you can draw it and 2 digital bugs.
I guess to be fair, it also, in terms of digital bugs, it puts shit in defense position.
No, you need them in attack position anyway. But the only problem is certain cards trigger off the normal summon, like Registrider. But no, other than that, it's nice. I'd play one Shadow Mosquito and one Mosquito March in digital bugs. Yeah, it's not like I don't have the extra deck space. A plus Bug Signal unlocks potential for level 4 insects using Shadow Mosquito as a target. So you can make number 70, Master Key Beetle, and the Traptrix Ixies. Bugs. We are the bug.
We are the bug. Celebrate another one, a bug to bash. Todoroki, the Earth Bolt Star, because somehow we're not done with these idiots, is a level 6 Earth Warrior, and you can special summon him from hand by pitching a monster, but it loses 500 attack. During the battle phase, you can pay 500 life points to fusion summon a warrior from extra deck.
It hurts.
It's fine.
It hurts my soul that they aren't level 5.
Yeah. Feast of the Wild level 5, more like...
Then there's Senko. If you control an Earth monster on the field, you can special summon it, and then target a level 5 or higher warrior monster you control, and the monster your opponent controls. Your monster loses 1500 attack, and your opponent's monster gets destroyed.
It's fine.
Yeah. The big boss monster.
Raijin, the Break Bolt.
Uh,
He's a level 10 light warrior fusion with 3k, and he's a level 5 or higher light and an earth warrior monster. He pierces, deals double damage against monsters with no levels, and during the end phase, if he's in the graveyard because he was destroyed, you can target 2 level 7 or lower warrior monsters in the graveyard and revive them. He's neat, but this whole wave feels weak.
Well, these cards in general have always been weak. It's pretty good that you can trigger Kaiki, but there's no good targets to summon, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because the other fusions are not very good. Guilty Gearfried isn't that great either.
You can make DPE.
Oh, that's true, but why? Why would you do that? Yeah, well, they're as underwhelming as they tend to be. If they were both level 5, then this wouldn't be as much of an issue. But we can't have nice things.
I'm gonna make Cyber Dragon Infinity and Earth Warrior.
Your opponent will let that happen because like they are not paying attention.
Wait, actually, you can do that with this next card, Clockwork Knight.
Wow, good transition. Yeah, so this basically turns all monsters on the field to machine, and I think monsters
Gives yours a 500 buff, so you can't machine dupe them, and negs your opponents for 500, and you can banish it from graveyard and discard a card to search an Earth Machine. Please stop making Earth Machine support. Please stop.
It's got to be Earth Machine. You don't understand, Mudwire. It has to be Earth Machine.
I do understand. I just want it to stop.
It's otherwise fine. That machine effect will come in very handy, and may bring Cyber Dragon back into relevance as a side deck card. Maybe.
Oh god, you're right. That's terrifying. Performer Pal Odd Eyes Seer is level 6, scale 1 Dark Spellcaster with a scale effect to recur a Graveyard Pal or Odd Eyes and pop the card, and a monster effect if it's pen summoned. 2, in attack position, banish it and revive a Pal or Odd Eyes in graveyard, or in defense position, mill or add to the extra deck a Pal or Odd Eyes from deck.
I think this is
It's
good.
fine.
It seems pretty good as far as Performer Pals go.
That's not a high bar to cross.
No, but like I think like all of the higher level Performer Pals tend to be okay.
Yeah, I just don't know about this one. It exists, I guess. I feel like they don't do a lot with the graveyard on account of being pendulum cards.
Yeah, a lot of pendulums tend to neglect that aspect of the game, which is fair.
Yeah. But there's 3 more cards that are kind of like one-offs. And no, wait, actually there's a lot, but I'm going to talk about these ones next. Dice Dungeon is a field spell that adds Dimension Dice from deck to hand when it resolves. During the battle phase, it does some dumbass attack manipulation that I'm not going to read. The first effect is the real meat here. Dimension Dice allows you to, if you have a dice rolling card, tribute a monster you control that has a dice effect to summon another dice roll monster from deck.
You're gonna summon.
Remember
you're gonna
this.
summon Orgoth, right? You
No.
are summoning Orgoth, right?
No,
Then what?
I refuse to submit to this.
Then what are we summoning?
You'll know when it happens. We'll talk about that later.
Oh god.
And there's one more card I want to talk about here before we get to the real meat, heavy quotation marks, of this set. EN Shuffle. EN Shuffle is a spell that shuffles an Elemental Hero or Neospatian to summon one with a different name from deck. You can banish it from graveyard to shuffle an Elemental Hero and a Neospatian/Neos into deck from graveyard to draw one. This card is fantastic. It helps heroes get more max changes, and it's a way to get to Neo Spirit. It helps Spatians get to Neo Spirit and gives them a draw one. It's not bad at all. It's very good.
Oh, well done. Why wasn't this in Power of the Elements?
Fuck you.
No, seriously, like, why?
It's an anime card.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all that Animation Chronicle is. These are all anime cards.
I see, like, this is the problem, like, because I've not seen, like, a whole lot of the anime, I can't tell whether or not some of these are just like, yeah, we made this up, or, yeah, this is a rough approximation of...
Some of them probably are rough approximations, but a lot of them are just anime cards that are either slightly buffed, generally.
Speaking of slightly buffed...
Don't say that. You know, I've been waiting for years for Crystal Beasts to get retrains. Maybe even advanced Crystal Beasts. Wow, they finally got them. These can't possibly be bad.
Oh.
Right?
Do I have news for you? Yeah, they're finally here, and about time too. It's Advanced Crystal Beasts.
About time to go home. Fuck these things.
They're Crystal for you. So basically, they're just side grades of the regular Crystal Beasts, in a nutshell.
Let me read these and take these apart like a goddamn broken down car out of mechanics. Advanced Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle has the same stats as the OG, they all do, and if Advanced Dark is not face up in the field zone, send this card to the graveyard. They all do that. It has the same basic Crystal Beast effect of back row moving, and if it's in your back row, you can special summon it and summon as many Advanced Crystal Beasts as possible from your back row. Wait, what do you mean only Advanced Crystal Beasts? What do you mean you only work with the new ones? You don't work with the old ones?
Is this one-way support? You do realize you're bringing out a structure deck in less than a month.
They do. And for some reason, they probably don't want it to sell.
Wow.
How many years did we wait for this? A card that's barely better than the original? That dies if it's absolutely garbage field spell isn't up?
2000 and something? I want to say 2002, 3.
Amethyst Cat is the same as Carbuncle, and its unique effect is give all your Advanced Crystal Beasts a direct attack. Bad, moving on. Emerald Tortoise has a quick effect battle position change. Bad, moving on. Topaz Tiger buffs yours by 400 and debuffs the opponent's by 400. Bad, moving on. Amber Mammoth is actually kind of interesting in that it can negate any targeting effect on Advanced Crystal Beast or Advanced Dark, but it requires too much since these guys don't tend to get on the field super easily. Cobalt Eagle has that horrible self-bounce effect, but it can be sent from hand or field to graveyard to search Advanced Dark, so you have to run it. Sapphire Pegasus is the same as OG, but it can also place from hand, graveyard, or banished, but only on Advanced CBs. These are awful. These are all fucking awful. I guess technically some of them work better than the originals, but relying on one of the worst field spells ever made is a fucking stupid idea, and they refuse to work with the originals, so they can't even be supplements. They suck. I hate these.
They're just as bad as I thought they'd be, and I will never get the time back from my life reading these things.
Technically, they're better than the originals, but I refuse to run them out of principle.
Yeah.
And also because I want to run Rainbow Runes.
Also, like, they don't have the dark attribute, like that's supplied by. Oh no, it's not even supplied by Advanced Dark. Because Advanced Dark only affects Crystal Beasts.
These are all Crystal
yeah,
Beasts.
Okay, no, that's fine. But that also affects your ability to summon Rainbow Dark Dragon. Not that you would, but if you want your theme deck, just remember that if they die and go to the graveyard, I think they don't keep their dark attribute for.
If your field spell is gone, you have literally no plays.
Yeah.
I hate these. I genuinely fucking hate these. And these are the things that are on the pack cover. These are what they are trying to sell to you. Amazoness Hall is a continuous trap that recurs an Amazoness monster from graveyard or face-up extra deck and can place the pendulum in your pen zone. If your opponent specials a monster while you have an Amazoness, you can gain life points equal to one of their attack. Bad, slow, ignore.
Yo.
Amazoness Hot Springs only exists because of Booba.
Yo, so
and that's not a knock on it.
So what's with this like Amazoness thing? Like, because they've only just got pendulum monsters announced. Why are they now like? Yeah, we support pendulum.
Wow, I sure hope we didn't have to cut out anything offensive. Doodle Beast Stego is a level 5 Earth Dino that you can special summon if you only have dinos or no monsters. One summon, you can add a doodle,
Doodle book.
a doodle book back row from deck to hand, then discard a card. This is great and gets better. Doodle book is a trap that negates an attack against your dino and revives a Doodle Beast from graveyard, then gives it battle protection and kills it during the end phase anyways.
But you can.
However, the graveyard effect is good.
Banish it.
Yeah, you can banish it except the turn it was sent there to search a level 5 or higher dino. And the one you search is Doodle Beast Tyranno, who is level 8, 2,400 Dino Earth, and during the main phase, if you control a dino, you can quick effect tribute this guy from your hand. Also, you can tribute him by using only one dino. One normal summon, you can destroy a monster on the field, and if you tribute a Doodle Beast monster, you can have this dude gain attack equal to half of that monster's attack. This is a really good dino engine.
Yeah, no, like, who'd have thought, like, that one guy from Arc 5 that's really annoying gets actually decent cards.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
The really, really, really annoying one. I don't know the kid's name.
Could you narrow it down
Is he
to
like
inch?
some little German fat kid in the dub?
I have no fucking idea. I didn't watch that shit.
No, that's okay. No one did. But yeah, no, these are really good. Like, Stego is especially good.
Yeah, you can summon Stego off Petite Pteranodon.
Yeah, Tyranno is also pretty good. I wouldn't play too many of it though.
Yeah, you just need one because the nice thing about Doodlebook being a trap is that even though you can't use that effect on the turn it's sent, because it's still like
quick effect.
Like spell speed. Yeah, because it's still spell speed 2, you can on the opponent's turn banish it to then grab that Tyranno. And the only downside is that there is a slightly higher chance that your opponent will have Ash Blossom at that point.
Yeah, it's some, like, I'd say for dinos it's a risk worth taking, at least on a more casual level. I don't know if it's
Well, there's barely any risk, honestly. I genuinely think this is a very good engine for dinos because you just summon Stego and you get a free pop.
Yeah, and you could also search other higher level dinosaurs like Pancratops, and
Absolutely, yeah.
if you really want to, I think Overtex is quite underrated.
Yeah, and Overtex is great. Like, he's always been run just because he grabs evolution pills, and if you really need to, you can get a back row negate up with him.
Yeah,
This is weirdly good. I like it.
good job, Arc 5, I think.
Ba-dun-dun. Gadget Box is a continuous spell that's always treated as a Morphtronic card, and it places 3 morph counters on itself. Once per turn, you can remove a morph counter to summon a level 1 machine Earth token, and lock the Synchros. This is good, but morphs are kind of off of Synchros right now, and I'll explain that later.
I was just going to go out of my way and say this isn't a good spell because something about a continuous spell with counters and like it shares counters with a field spell. Something about this stinks, and I don't like it. The token's level 1 too, which is just super crusty.
I'm fine with it just on the virtue of it being a free summon in Morphtronics, and they have ways to search this now.
I understand.
Yeah, there's reasons you don't want to play it, but I don't think it's terrible.
Okay, I respect that.
Yeah. Toolbox is a continuous spell that if you control a monster, you can reveal 2 equips with different names, have the opponent randomly pick one to add, then put the other on the bottom of deck. This exists. I feel like if Premature Burial was legal, this with that and Living Fossil would be pretty nuts, giving you essentially 7 copies of Monster Reborn. But as is, I don't know who would want this.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, maybe Infernobles, who knows. Dragon Nails is an equip spell that can only go on a dark. It gains 600 attack and the opponent cannot destroy it with card effects. If it's sent to the graveyard because the monster was equipped to is run over, you can revive it, equip it, and then banish it when it leaves. This is probably useful for Braver.
I think so. I've not really read much into the Morphtronic stuff.
Yeah, because like Braver just equips any 3 equips from deck to
That's
it.
true.
So I think it bypasses restrictions like that. Meaning that you could, instead of, what was it? Instead of...
Power Tool C&D.
I mean, instead of something like, say... doesn't one of these give him protection? Yeah, instead of something like, I like to run, for my Braver, I run Metal Silver Armor, Magicalized Dust on Mop, and Raptinus's Super Magic Blade, because it means no monsters on my field can be targeted, and it means that he cannot be Super Polyed or anything, but it honestly may be a better idea to, what's the word?
Use this instead of...
It may... Yeah, instead of Magicalized Dust on Mop, because it's really going to depend on how common that other stuff is. I'll have to double check and make sure that Dragon Nails is a legal target for Braver's effect, but
I think
I don't think
I'm going off the top of my head, and this is massive speculation. I think you do have to be able to fill the equip effect to equip.
maybe. I'd definitely have to fuck about and find out. But yeah, after that there is Thunderball. He's real, baby.
Who?
And he was in Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Oh yeah, Thunderball, the precast to Super Thunderball.
Super Monkey Ball, Thunder Blitz. And let's see. At the end of the damage, he's a level 3 Dark Fiend, and at the end of the damage step, you can special summon him from hand. You can pitch a trap from hand or face down cards you have to pop other cards in his column. If he's destroyed, you can recur a target in your graveyard by rolling a 6 on the die. He's a meme card, but I appreciate this guy is now real.
Yeah, is he supposed to be like some kind of Dungeon Dice monster thing?
Yeah.
So I assume it's like an adaptation of showing us what that has to do.
Some shit like that, yeah. And then there's Requiem Duel, which is a quick play that allows each player to revive a dead by battle monster in attack position. And if you summon Neos, if it battles an opponent's monster, double its attack during the damage step. This is bad. It's searchable, but ignore it. It's bad.
Yeah.
It sucks, and I hate it. Morphtronic Impact is a normal trap that lets you target up to 2 back row of your opponent and shuffle a morph from your hand to spin those 2. You can banish it from graveyard to recur a banished or dead morpho. It's a one or the other effect.
Oh.
It's fine.
Yeah. It's only a normal trap. I thought it was a continuous trap for some reason.
No. It's normal. I mean that you can use it to stop continuous back row, which is interesting.
Oh, okay.
But it's a side deck card at best, I feel.
No, I respect that.
Yeah. And after that, and this is the shit that's going to tie in a lot to what was in that set, the remaining Duelist pack.
Yeah.
So starting off, the last Amazon S card to be revealed is Amazon S Warrior Chief, who is a level 5 with 1900 attack. And if you have no monsters or only control Amazon S, you can special summon her from hand. And then you can set an Amazon S back row or poly straight from deck and only attack with Amazon S this turn. She's pretty good. She searches back row, gives you basically 9 copies of any card in the deck, etc. It does suck that their Rhoda is a quick play, so you can't use it immediately if you set it with her. But she is pretty good. I don't think she fixes this garbage support like Kai Ryushin did for Mako. The cards still suck and are overbalanced, and it sucks that you can't like summon 2 of the big queen in one turn to get like a total field protection like fucking Melodious. But it exists, I guess. It's a good card.
Yeah, it's nice that it went out with a good card and not something that was just like essentially Cyber Dragon but worse.
Remember Cyber Dragon?
I remember.
Remember Cyber Dragon? But yeah, after that is the last Ishizu card.
Kelbeck.
The Ancient Vanguard, which is... Let's see, yeah. It can target an opponent's special summon monster, and it can summon itself from hand by targeting an opponent's special summon monster and bounce that monster. If a card is sent from hand or deck to the opponent's graveyard, and if this is sent to... Am I misreading
Right, so
this? I apologize.
I think so. If a card is sent from the hand or deck to your opponent's graveyard, you can target one of your opponent's special summon monsters, special summon Kelbeck from hand, and return the target monster to the hand. And if it's sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard, you can send the top 5 cards of each player's deck to the graveyard, and then if Exchange of the Spirit is in your graveyard, you can set 1 trap from your graveyard.
That is ridiculous.
Absolutely insane. What the fuck, Kelbeck? Where
I
have you
shit
been?
on these. I shit on these things hardcore last time they came up. It was not warranted of me. These are stupid.
Yeah, like, to your credit, there was no the synergy between these and tier elements was not explored at the time. And then all of a sudden, it turns out you can pitch all of these Earth Fairies that do things when pitched with a card like Herald of Orange Light, which will negate in a monster effect. Mill your cards, which will then mill more cards, which will then mill your tier elements, which will then trigger their ability to fusion summon. So not only have you negated your opponent's monster effect, which is normally their play starter, You have also put either Collider Heart on field, or in this case Lulikos, or any tier elements card. You'll trigger your trap recursions. You'll trigger your monster recursions. You'll even trigger, if you hit Exchange the Spirit, you'll hit the alternate effects like Kelbeck will set a trap, and whatever the other 4 monsters do. It is unreasonably high quality, like in terms of synergy, and is part of why this strategy has become tier 0, even taking over Splites in spite of a Toad ban in the OCG.
What a silly little deck.
Oh, absolutely, it beggars belief how well this has worked out.
Yeah, it's a very silly deck, and I don't know if I approve of that kind of silliness.
It's a little bit too silly, because not only because even if you hit Orange Light, the other heralds still trigger it, and negating a spell and trap is just as good, because you can hit an Imperm, or you can hit a Call by the Grave. The possibilities are quite literally endless.
Goodbye, Herald.
Bye, heralds.
Goodbye, Herald. Goodbye. Goodbye, Herald. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, here's the big meat of the set that we need to... Well, no, not the big meat. The big meat was a Shizu, and I hate her for that. Because I hate Nostalgia Wank decks that are just nothing but... Remember the card she used? Remember?
Yeah, this is all part of like the big Earth Fairy kick as well, which is just... It's becoming a bit sickening at this point.
Yeah, it's I just don't like it. I don't appreciate it, and I don't like it.
But let's cheer you up and talk about Morphtronics.
Yay! Man, I sure hope these don't get a card that entirely changes the way they function, thus making them entirely alien to their original function, despite being objectively good support.
Boy, have I got news for you.
I think we've done this.
Yeah, we have done this. Oh shit.
That's me. That's fine.
We're not gonna do the other joke attached to that one though. Gadget Gamer is cringe, but his effect is base.
Gaming, Windows G, enable. Gaming.
He's pretty good because you can add a level 1 machine monster from your deck to your hand on normal summon, but it's pretty cringe because you have to play Gadget Hauler. So
you can search Drytron.
Oh.
Don't do that.
This card also has another combo I've kind of thought about, because there's no locks on it, but we'll get to that one once we've discussed the real deal for this.
Yeah, he is essentially a bootleg Lone Fire, but he makes Gadget Hauler fucking playable, so that's pretty great.
Yeah, I can't believe we're living in this universe. They really wanted you to play Gadget Hauler.
We live in a gadget society.
Bottom text.
The funny part is that, like, even if you Ash Blossom his effect, you still have other shit you can do via there, because if you have like a level 1 in your hand, you can then tribute him if he gets Ash Blossomed and then continue your plays, which is really interesting from a card design perspective.
Yeah, you have to like pick which effect you want to not get fucked by.
Yeah, I mean, Perm fucks him regardless, but he's a cool card. I like him.
Yeah.
Morphtronic Earphones. Oh god, his Morphtronic Earphones are in. Oh god, he can't hear us. Oh god, the Gadget Hauler is coming. I stole that joke.
Yeah, it's like a reverse Armory Arm. If equipped to a monster, it can make 2 attacks, and you can turn a face-up monster on the field into a tuner for the turn, and it can equip itself from field or graveyard to a Synchron monster.
It's fine.
It's not great, but it's nice to see a Morphtronic Synchro.
Yeah. This is their only one also. Morphtronic Convert Unit is a spell that targets a machine you control, and if it's in attack, special summon Morphtronic with a different name, then puts it back on top of the deck. And if it's in defense, it changes it to attack and special summons a level 4 or lower machine from hand. It's pretty good. Yeah. You now have over 10 copies of Selphon, and another certain card that we'll talk about.
Oh shit, no.
No!
Cut that.
I'm going to censor that
Smartphone.
out. Reggie, why'd you say that?
Smartphone. Life
For
Extreme. Equips to
is an equipped
to an Earth Synchro. Your opponent's monsters lose 1,500 while battling, and if a monster's position is changed, you can destroy a card on the field. If this card leaves the field,
And
you
if
contribute a
it's-
Power Tool Synchro and then summon Life Stream Dragon.
No thanks.
Sure thing, bud. I'll do that.
Morphtronic Scannon is the certified level 6, aka the only Morphtronic over level 4. He's also a tuner, which is a little bit uncomfortable, but you can summon him from hand only by banishing another Morph from hand, which sucks. In attack position, you can search a Morphtronic back row and place a card from your hand on top of your deck. In a defense position, he can add a level 4 or lower Morphtronic from graveyard to hand, then place the card on top of the deck. It's a good way to get Convert, but there's absolutely nothing else good to search with him aside from like maybe Gearbox if you want to. Accelerator is kind of okay, I guess, but there's better, easier removal cards currently. All their old back row sucks. Only Convert is good.
I think.
And Selfon.
Sorry, Karen.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think I played one
I
or
was
two.
just. Yeah, so I run two. Selfon can't summon him, so I don't know. He's good consistency to get to a certain someone faster, who is I think one of the first Morphtronic cards revealed, but he is the most important card now. He is the deck.
He is Morphtronic.
Morphtronic Telephon. It's morphin' time. Wait, the joke doesn't work that way.
It only morphs all over them. I'm gonna make it work anyway.
Ring ring, who is it?
Leo, you son of a bitch!
You smell of infinite loop. In attack position, he can roll a die and gain life points equal to the result. And he can then summon a Morphtronic from graveyard whose level is equal to or lower than the result. In defense position, he mills a Morph card by rolling a die. But here's the real
Alright,
meat.
so this is a hard one to return, right?
Yeah, so I took this funny tool called a magnifying glass to the text, and I haven't been able to find that yet, but surely they wouldn't make a... it doesn't matter if he's not hard ones to
maybe there's
return.
no hard ones to return, but surely there's a restriction on summoning Morphtronic Telephone. You can, like, it just...
Yeah, you can target...
Oh.
He can target himself, and because the way the six-sided die roll works, it's lower than.
Yeah.
And equal to or lower than, meaning that you can always get a level 1 out with that effect, including himself. So naturally, people have already found ways to big brain loop this motherfucker for days. There has already been an infinite life point gain loop found with him that will essentially make it so that the opponent can never kill you. I have been experimenting with a pretty good link board involving Trigate, Appaloosa, and 2 of the Nightmares to give them all protection. It's some nutty shit, but I've bitched about this before. The thing I don't like is how overwhelming this one little rotary phone, he's not rotary, this one little landline phone has completely anal-vored the game plan of this deck.
Yeah, it's...
Because I know it's
scary.
Yeah, I know it's always been like, loop with Selfon or get a bunch of crazy things out with Selfon and machine dupe and abuse that. But Telephon is nuts, even by those
like,
standards.
the thing about Cellphone is, you run out of Cellphone.
Telephon is eternal.
It truly is. And, like, I mean, it's like... Gadget Gamer gets it. In multiple ways, you can add it to hand. Or I also noticed a combo with Scannon, where if you add Scannon with... If you open Scannon and Gadget Gamer, you can summon Scanner from hand using Gamer, summon Gadget Hauler, and you can overlay them for Beatrice, because they're both level 6. And then send Telephone to the graveyard.
You have at least 18 ways to get to Telephon in this deck.
Not just any telephone, two telephones, one on field and one in graveyard.
Yeah, you've got the dice shit that was mentioned earlier with Dice Dungeon and Dimension Dice. You've got Morphtronic Convert Unit. You've got 1-for-1. You've got Gizmek Naganaki. You've got Gadget Gamer. You've got Morphtronic Scannon in order to get to Convert Unit.
Piri Rees map.
Piri Rees map.
Oh,
no, actually, that
too
doesn't work.
much attack.
Yeah, he's got 100.
Oh, well, good thing they thought about that one. That would be too much.
The Morphtronic support is so weird because it's objectively good with some like mediocre cards thrown in there, like the Synchro, but it's Telephon is such a genuinely game-changing card for the deck. It's fucking nuts.
Kind of disgusting.
It is. I can't hate him because he's so good, but by God, do I want to.
Watch him get limited.
I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind moving away from that and going back to like a synchro build. That sounds fun.
I can't believe anyone's ever said that.
Yeah,
in
it's
response to a card that's not even out yet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be really mad if the Shizu stuff comes out over here, and of course it's gonna dominate. And then it gets like limited or tier elements get restricted or whatever, and then it falls out of favor, and then immediately after, like
Morphtronics take over.
When Morphtronics finally get here, they take over and become insanely expensive at the same time.
Now,
or like in
Mudwire, why are you talking about Ishizu coming out before Morphtronics? Because they're all
Mama! Ooh!
You put your heart.
Majestic Maiden's a set! Fuck you, I'm going to shit in your house!
You put your heart and soul into that, and for that I can't hate you. This is the waifu box. Jar not included. So this is this is basically that the box that can.
It's the shiny box.
It's the shiny box which has the Witchcrafters, Sky Strikers, and Mayakashi.
And Ishizu is also on the cover, meaning that for the first time in a while they have split up a duelist pack.
Yeah, this is kind of
disgusting.
Yeah, and it also because let's not kid ourselves. At the minute, deck build packs. Both deck build packs and duelist packs are kind of on a bit of a backlog. Like they've been heavily delayed, and I think this is them trying to catch up with product. Ironically, I don't know if this is intentional or not. They're catching up with the one product that will probably go tier 0, and they need something to sell the shiny box.
I genuinely just think they've lost faith in like the selling ability of duelist packs because
but
the water one probably
they did that to themselves though, because like both wind and water haven't been particularly good apart from like say Baron de Fleur from the wind pack,
Lyralust.
And Lyralust. Yeah, well that's it. Like what's that, like 4 cards? If that.
To be fair, that's like more than some modern sets, but like even shit like the Dark set was pretty bad.
Yeah, well, it's all on Konami for not making good cards.
I don't disagree. They put these weird restrictions on all of these. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, but then see what happens when they don't put the weird restrictions on.
I know, but it's like...
Surely you can meet us halfway, and, you know...
Yeah.
Doesn't worry about it. Like, I think you said these are missing things like from the shiny box, like some dice and
stands and the little acrylic stands and sleeves, and it's the same MSRP as it was in Japan. It's the fucking issue I have.
Yeah, that's pretty cheeky. I can't say I'm very impressed.
It's shitty. There's some reprints confirmed, like the Blackluster Soldier Link finally, Trap Trick Sarah, it's coming out November 3rd. Blue Eyes Abyss is here, Lamau waifu box, and Sword Soul of Moye, which means she may not be getting into tins unless we have a good Appaloosa situation.
Yeah. You think Konami has no faith in this product? I have not a lot of faith in this product.
I mean, this one will do good just because of the Ishizu shit.
Yeah, I suppose it's nice to have Sky Striker reprints.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Engage needs another reprint, I think.
Yeah, I hope some of the other weird reprints they have in there are actually good, but this is just infuriating to see. Maybe this will actually end up being, this is Cope, but maybe this will end up being good for me, and it will end up with, I'm saying me specifically because I'm a selfish bastard, but maybe it'll be good in terms of pricing for the Morphtronics, because if they end up getting reprinted in like the next Ghost from the Past, maybe they'll end up cheap. But this is all.
It'll either be Ghost from the Past or a Battles of Legend.
I feel like Ghost from the Past is more, well, who fucking knows with Crystals of Legend. But yeah, this is the thing I was talking about. If we may get a thing where in Japan, Shizu's stuff stops being useful because tier elements die, and then maybe Morphtronics will all of a sudden take the top spot and just become fucking nutty, and that will be just the time when they get over here, just in time for it to be like disgusting.
I think you might be right, but I think the I want to say the OCG
And
has
it'll
the
be expensive.
OCG has the kind of hindsight to limit telethon. Maybe.
Yeah, but I mean, they haven't yet, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's too fragile for it to really work. I don't know. I've always been very bad at like guessing meta relevant stuff, but it is what it is.
Speaking of being out of
but-
meta relevance,
Crystal Beast, Crystal Beast, Crystal Beast.
you bought Albaz.
Let's
You
talk
guys will
about
buy anything.
Crystal Protection is a normal spell that targets and destroys a crystal beast you control, then summons a crystal beast token, sharing everything but effect and name. If a crystal beast is placed in your back row, all this card is in your graveyard. Even during the damage step, you can banish it and summon a crystal beast from back row.
Does this
It's alright
does
if
this
only
trigger
for...
both effects at the same time? So when you destroy a crystal beast and it goes to the spell trap, and then the spell goes to the graveyard, does that can you do both at the same time, or do you have to like do it again?
I don't actually know. That's something I should definitely test out. Let me...
Because then you make the token, the beast you destroy goes to spell and trap, and then you can straight away banish the spell and trap to summon the crystal beast, putting 2 monsters on field.
Maybe. Let me try something real quick.
We'll fast forward. We'll
Sorry, let me
fast
take-
forward this while Mudwire plays through Edo Pro real quick. Well, that's a shame. It could have been good.
Yeah. I mean, it's... I guess it's fine for the second effect at least, but I don't know. But yeah, then there's Crystal Grace, which is a normal trap that special summons up to 2 Crystal Beasts from your back row, and you gain life points equal to their attack, and while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it when a Crystal Beast is back rowed, excavate the top card of your deck, and add or summon it if it's a CB, send to graveyard otherwise. This is bad.
Yeah.
This is insanely bad.
Damn, I sure hope the rest of the cards in this set aren't like that.
Crystal Miracle is a counter trap. It negates and destroys any activation by popping a Crystal Beast you control. Then the graveyard effect banishes to add to another Crystal Beast to graveyard when a Crystal Beast is placed. Pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, no, I think this is arguably the best card in the set.
Maybe. Like, there's a few more that are kind of interesting. Awakening of the Crystal Lord is a quick play spell and can reveal an ultimate crystal in your hand to activate one effect, or if you control an ultimate crystal, you can activate one or both. You can either add or mill Rainbow Refraction or a Bridge card. Currently, this is just Rainbow Bridge, Bridge of Salvation, and another card they just revealed. But most of them are good choices, except for, like... Well, Rainbow Bridge is pretty alright, I guess, because it searches anything else. Or you can special summon a Crystal Beast from hand, deck, graveyard, or back row. This is pretty damn good. Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon sets us up easy peasy, and the deck has an absurd number of ways to get Sapphire Pegasus out in order to set up Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. Genuinely good.
Wait, can you use Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon as reveal? Because is it Ultimate Crystal?
No, he searches a Rainbow Dragon when he uses his
Oh,
effect.
okay, yeah, no, I understand that.
Yeah, so, Crystal Brilliance is a continuous trap and gives your Crystal Beast a boost equal to their original defense. If a Crystal Beast is placed in your back row, you can send this to the graveyard, special summon a Crystal Beast from hand or deck, and any damage you take this turn is half.
Uh-oh, stinky.
I want to like this
These
one.
are the worst traps I've ever seen.
Miracles is good, but this is so... They genuinely want you to play Crystal Beast Beatdown, and that's the issue I have. None of these have good enough effects to facilitate that.
No, they're like a very convoluted combo deck.
Combo decks achieve something.
Yeah, it's true. Mostly of note is the reprints, of which so far is
Wait, there's one more.
Oh, is there one more?
Yeah, Bridge of the Heart, which is a continuous spell, which is a little uncomfortable, that gives you an extra Crystal Beast normal summon, allows you to destroy a Crystal Beast card on field or in hand to search a Crystal back row, and if a Crystal Beast is placed in your back row, you can bounce this card and an opponent's card. This is fantastic, but this deck still sucks ass.
Yeah.
This is also the other thing you want to search with Awakening or whatever the fuck it's called.
So I was about to mention reprints, but at the same time, as of when I wrote my notes, there was only 3 of note, being D-Shifter, Ghost Bell, and Ash Blossom, but since then they've released the full set list.
Metaverse.
Metaverse, Contact C, which is not a good card. Cosmic Cyclone, which is okay. And Ferret Flames.
I'm insanely mixed on this deck.
There's only one reason you'd ever want to buy it. And
Yeah,
that's because it'll be the cheapest playset of Ash Blossom you'll ever buy.
Unless they're stupid and they cut it.
But why would they do that? Then the product won't sell.
Yes, but you see, Konami was forged within the ancient chip brain.
Yeah. What
chimps.
like with the cyber
Charmer deck.
no, it wasn't not cyber style. They were like the fear that like losing imperm.
We did lose Lightning Storm, but at least we got Imperm,
Yeah.
I guess.
I think as long as it keeps Ash Blossom, I don't care if D Shifter and Ghost Bell get cut. But I don't think I don't think D Shifter will get cut because it's not been reprinted here yet, and Ghost Bell is Ghost Bell. It's not.
Yeah, it's this deck is gonna need to sell itself by the reprints. So I think Ash Blossom is a good choice. If like I'm so mixed on this because some of the back row is nice, but it's literally just more searching and extending. And their new boss monster is still you spend 20 million years to make it, and then it kills itself in a blaze of glory.
But the good news is they've reprinted Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder in this structure deck, so you have a backup boss monster.
I'll give them that. That's pretty funny, actually.
And isn't it all relevant to the? Didn't he use it at some point when he went evil?
I think it was a better boss monster for them than Rainbow Dragon, because Rainbow Dragon not being able to use its effects to turn it was summoned will always baffle me.
Well, I don't think he was supposed to win.
You're playing Crystal Beast, accept defeat.
Well,
yeah, it's.
let's move on. We've got some tournament pack, the brand new tournament pack.
Yeah, the reprints are weird. There's ones that people want, like Water Entrancers and Skill Drain, but they're fucking ultimates. They're ultimates, so they're kind of useless reprints. Caius is here, Trap Eater, Pain Painter, and like 3 DDs that didn't need reprints are super. There's Hercules Beetle, Kuwagata Alpha, Skullcrobat Joker, Wisdom Eye, Lone Fire, Heroic Champions, Red Reboot, Snow, Destrudo. Gore's, I don't know, these sets are always weird.
Yeah, but don't forget these sets either represent what's been released and needs reprinting, or sets up for future support.
What the fuck is Gore's doing here?
Making you remember to fear the battle phase.
Attack with the smallest one, bitch. But we have another structure deck to talk about real quick.
Oh, that's true. This just in.
On the opposite side of the quality scale, Dark Worlds.
Are you ready to lose this structure deck?
Yeah, I know.
This is funny. As someone who doesn't like Dark Worlds, I kind of like. I think this is very funny.
We haven't gotten colorless yet, but we're so goddamn close. This is the next Animation Chronicle, bitch. So the first card was Rainbow, Supreme Overlord of Dark World, who is level 8 and can be special summoned by bouncing a level 7 or lower Dark World. If he's discarded, you can grab a level 5 or higher Dark World, except himself, and special level 4 or lower Dark World from deck or graveyard if the opponent discarded him. He's really good. His bounce lets you reuse shit as needed, isn't once per turn in the slightest, meaning you can get 2 bounces with him and Grapha in play, and you can search the higher levels, which is more important than it might seem. Dark World Puppet banishes up to 3 in any graveyard, then discards a fiend, and you can banish it except the turn it was sent to recur a banished fiend. It's fine. It's a side deck card.
I don't know what any of these do. Like, if you feel this one.
Okay. And now we got the Fusion Boss Monster. We are one step closer to colorless. Yay! Grapha, Dragon Overlord of Dark World, is a level 10 fusion and can change a normal spell, trap, or monster effect activated by the opponent into a discard. Also, if this fusion summoned lad is killed by the opponent, you can special a banished or dead Grapha, then make each player discard 1. This is pretty fucking good. It's an actual end board piece for them. But, I mean, how would you fusion summon him? I mean, he doesn't have a fusion spell like Dark World Accession, which is a quick play that fusion summons a fiend fusion by banishing materials from graveyard or field. But if you're making a Dark World, you can discard the fusion summon. You can recur it during your main phase by discarding a Dark World. This is fucking fantastic, and I fucking called it. I knew they would get a discard diffusion summon, and this puts us one step closer to colorless. Yay!
I don't see what the fascination is with colorless.
Because I fucking want that fucking 12 material super poly only big boy Dark World big fusion monster. I want to see him like we saw Blazar. Blazar was like 3 pixels on a Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D screen one time. I want to see colorless.
No, it's too easy. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, that's what we got so far. I think this destructor deck strikes me as the kind of thing where you'll mostly be full of like reprints that trigger Dark Worlds, so dangers basically.
I think the main thing that they need would be more ways to proc the Dark Worlds themselves, because these are really good, but they need more ways to kind of like actually get started.
This is probably like a Twin Druid, because they trigger off being discarded, don't they? Not sent.
Yeah, they need to be discarded by effect too.
Oh, so not for cost.
We also got
okay.
Yeah. We also got Amazing Defenders. There's no Exod, so who cares? Our Ace has a big robot, Mikenko has a Japanese Shinto waifu, and Puri is furries. This is lame.
Yeah. Yeah, deck build packs are getting kind of desperate, like for design.
Predictable.
Yeah.
Robot waifu, whatever.
Oh god, it's just it never ends.
Yeah.
And then finally we've just got like some assorted guff.
Shit.
Yeah.
Cordon, the Great Sage, level 4 Earth Fairy, who can set a continuous trap from hand or graveyard when normaled, and it can be activated this turn. And if he's sent to the graveyard, all face-up traps can't be destroyed by card effects for a turn. Oh, good. Floodgate recursion.
Yay!
Good.
Skill drain back to 0, please.
Yeah. Pharaonic Advent is a level 8 Dark Spellcaster, and you contribute 1 monster to summon him from hand. He gains 300 attack for each continuous trap on field and in graveyard. You can contribute a fairy, fiend, or reptile to grab any continuous trap from deck, but you can't special summon for the rest of the turn. This is bullshit, and I hate it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like good, like how.
Probably not, but I hate what it represents.
Yeah, I think a lot of these kind of like Egyptian-y themed or trap do thing. Kind of.
I know it's nice to see that Odeon is so close to getting actual support, but I hate these on principle.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Gravekeeper's Engraving is a spell that, at the start of main phase 1, can apply one of these effects until the end of your opponent's turn. Cannot activate card effects in the graveyard, cannot banish cards from the graveyard, or cannot special cards from the graveyard. And this is for both players.
So this
just run.
Yeah, I
Necro
was gonna
Valley.
say this is just Necro Valley in like across its different variations in its lifespan.
Yeah, it is searchable by Gravekeepers, but so is fucking Necro Valley.
I wonder why. No, seriously, why did they do that? I don't care. My favorite one out of all these is Apophis, the Swamp Deity. So it's a trap monster. It's a normal monster when it's summoned, but you can negate the effect of monsters your opponent controls up to the number of continuous traps you control. Which,
He's
yeah,
pretty
no,
neat.
like,
It's nice to see Odeon still get support. Like I said, I bitch about the other shut because floodgates exist, but this is kind of neat. It's a little disgusting, but kind of neat.
in the notes, I've got a card here called Wish Dragon.
Tribute it to get 2 dragon tokens, but dragon locked the extra. It's
Oh,
bad.
okay, yeah. Okay. Moving on. And then we've got Edelaria of the Moonlit Water.
She can summon him herself if you control a face-up back row, and you can send 2 face-up back row to the graveyard to mill a level 4 lower monster. It's fine.
Yeah, my problem with this is like Mathematician does the same thing on normal
Exists.
summon, and Summon a Monk is also a thing. It's basically it's really,
She's
really,
fine.
really bad Magician's Souls.
Yeah. It's there's also Dai Darabochi, which is literally not worth reading, and there's Queen Butterfly Danaus, which is so close to being good.
It really is. I can't fully remember what it does because I don't have the effect on hand, but it's something to do with like it tributes herself
yeah.
to summon.
Level 8 wind insect. If you control this normal summon card, you can quick effect revive up to 3 level 4 or lower bugs and lower this thing's attack to 0. Their effects are negated. This needing 2 tributes kills it.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not as hard as you think because we have in B Trooper armor horn, so
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I think B Trooper
And
people have said no.
and,
don't.
we also have an
Ele-
announcement for Green Ninja.
Yeah, he's grinning.
Copyright. So he's like I think he's like one of the level 1 flip ninjas, which may not seem important at first, but there's a lot of speculation that with the release of number 2, this will be the insect dragon ninja thing.
Maybe. I have no idea.
I hope so.
but
Ninjas are really cool, and I like their playstyle.
I just think they're neat. The last stuff is Duel Links, which is they got 2 new boxes, I think, which is mostly character stuff like Super Hyper Samurai, Fluffles, and Ancient Gears, which is alright, and a new mini box, which was focused around Galaxy Photons, but it kind of fell off pretty fast. Also, the rank 11 train is in the game.
Yeah, they put Liebe in the deck in the game, which is kind of a bit much.
Yeah, there's also the Duel Links ban list. DD got hit as soon as it became tier 1, and as soon as I built it, fuck. Kepler to 2, Thomas to 1, Skill Prisoner and Farfar at 3 now, and Fusion Reserve is off.
And there's
Galaxy
there's an Ishizu structure deck as well.
There's what?
An Ishizu structure deck. Yeah, Rudy
Is
Rose
there?
Dragon. It's
not Ishizu, Akiza.
oh yeah, shit. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine, but yeah, that's that. I'm upset that both the things I was building both fell off very fast or got banned.
Duel Links is falling out of relevance anyway. But
yeah, it's weird. I actually haven't played like Master Duel. It had a limited 1 event recently, but I just don't care.
yeah, I think it's because the well of gems has kind of dried up, and even like purchasing gems, you don't get a lot for your money. This is one thing I've noticed. I've thought to myself, well, considering I've got it for free, and if I was to treat it like a game I've bought, why don't I just buy some gems? Like, to treat it as if I bought the game for a one-off purchase. And you really don't get a lot for what you spend your money on. I think it's like what, $15 for like 1,500 gems or some garbage.
Jeez, I don't know. Master Duel is kind of weird because it's easy to build one deck and hard to build anything else unless you go into events and
Just
shit.
uninstall and start again, Lamau.
But yeah, last thing for Duel Links is that we're getting the Vrains world.
Wow.
I have no idea how this will function. And then Crocodile Jim is coming over along with some new GX skills, including ones for Malicious Bane and Super Polymerization.
Bane. Well.
Oh, and there's one last thing. There's a skill for the Sacred Beast support.
Oh, neat.
I'm fucking ready.
If I played what do you call it, Phantasmal guy, the big fusion. I forgot
Sure.
his name. What's his name?
Armitage.
That's the one.
Yeah. There's you can return a fiend type monster with 0 stats from your hand to the deck and add one of the 3 Sacred Beasts. And you can select 2 cards from your hand or face of monsters except tokens, return them to the deck, and send 3 Hyper Blades from outside your deck to your graveyard. Then add a Fallen Paradise from outside your deck to the bottom of your deck. And at the end of your next turn, Fallen Paradise will you control be banned. Okay, well that's kind of stinky.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of these skills are a little bit stink, but at this point in Duel Link's life cycle, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited that Sacred Beast support will be coming regardless, but you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I think that's everything. Yeah. Thank you for joining us, you stinky, stupid idiots. This is the longest mini-cast ever.
Yeah, these mini-casts are getting very close to like normal runtime, but there's a little bit of time that we can cut, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. We gotta cut it now. It's too long. Too long. We gotta cut now.